Bottom club Spurs were at home to Derby, hoping to end a losing sequence of 3 games on the trot. Chris Waddle, who's recently signed a new long-term contract, setting up Paul Stewart, his first for Spurs since moving from Manchester City for over £1.5 million. Awirma's son, Gazza delighted. El, it's only a matter of time, tell, somewhat relieved. But Derby, who hadn't won away, indeed with only 1 league goal away from home, struck back through the Tin Man, Ted McMinn, formerly of Rangers. Spurs goalkeeper Bobby Mims hardly convincing at the near post. Into the second half, it's McMinn again with a sort of John Barnes type run. Nothing Mims could really do about that. Derby leading 2-1. To round off a thoroughly satisfactory afternoon, Goddard's flick, Dean Saunders, his 3rd goal in 2 games since joining Derby from Oxford. Derby's first away win.
At Old Trafford, a sad sight, a recurrence of Colin Gibson's knee injury, ironically against his old club Aston Villa. 3 minutes before half-time, Steve Bruce with a thumping header from Gordon Strachan's corner, but no celebrations for the 2nd anniversary of Alex Ferguson's appointment as manager. United lost the lead for the 5th league match in a row. Alan McInally is in irresistible form for Villa, another storming run. And Gordon Cowan's arriving at the far post for his first goal since his return from Italy. Another solid performance by the away day specialists, Aston Villa.
League leaders Norwich went to Wimbledon with a 100% away record, head guards, gum shields. Wimbledon, on their very best behaviour in view of the adverse publicity they've been getting recently, went behind in the first half. Dale Gordon's nice little cross, Andy Linnigan, 1-0. Then in the second half, Norwich ensured victory, stretching their lead to 7 points at the top when Malcolm Allen hit a beautifully controlled volley from the edge of the area. Allen's first for Norwich since joining them from Watford. Their away record now, played 5, won 5.
Millwall are still devastating at the Den. 3 goals in 6 minutes in the first half against Luton. Teddy Sheringham in excellent form once more. He grabbed the first, his 8th of the season. Luton swept aside now and pressured into conceding a penalty. The culprit, their Australian striker, David Oldfield. The victim, pint-sized Darren Morgan. The scorer, Kevin O'Callaghan, blasting past Les Seeley. Millwall still making merry here, and even left-back Ian Dawes getting in on the act. 3-0, and effectively the game over before half-time. Danny Wilson never accepts defeat easily, but his late goal for Luton, no more than a passing statistic.
At Loftus Road, it was the Trevor Francis show. Trev wasn't expected to play and passed himself fit only 2 hours before the kick-off. QPR had a new pitch installed during the summer. They did, honestly. No, they really did. Mind you, Trev can walk on water, mud, just about anything these days. His cross, that was unlucky, but Danny Maddox was well positioned to make it 1-0. Beautiful strike coming up here. This is Martin Allen. Right into the top. Well-taken goal on the volley. Here's Trevor Francis putting Mark Falco through. His 3rd goal of the season. QPR 3, Newcastle 0.
At Highfield Road, Coventry City against their bogey team, West Ham. Coventry 11 matches against the Hammers without a win, and sure enough, a goal down after 32 minutes. Alan Dickens against the post, David Kelly nipping in. For Coventry, Keith Thompson bought out his contract with the Spanish club Oviedo to return for a second spell at Highfield Road. Substitute Thompson obliged with the equaliser.
Southampton, 6th in Division 1 beforehand, are looking better than they have for years. 1 or 2 more Wallaces, and they might even have a championship-winning team. Danny created the first. He's the senior member of the dynasty. Graham Baker was the scorer. Charlton, unbeaten in their previous 6 league games, beginning to climb away from relegation a little early this season. They were always involved, although that was a good save. And it was as late as 82 minutes before Danny wrapped it all up. Ray and Rod had to settle for a back seat on the day.
On to Hillsborough, Sheffield Wednesday against Everton, and when Pat Vanden Hauwe was ruled to have impeded David Hodgson, a penalty, a chance for last week's man of the match, to show his paces. Neville Southall saving superbly at the expense of former Evertonian Gary Megson. Everton, though, weren't so wasteful when Mark Proctor rudely interrupted Peter Reid's progress 11 minutes into the second half. Trevor Stevens' aim was true, and Everton had a platform for an important away win. But 8 minutes from the end, Sheffield Wednesday drew level through Mel Sterland, so often their inspiration. Ending Southall's resistance, Everton now with only one win in 8 games.
Liverpool had won only one league game at Anfield before Middlesbrough's visit. Ian Rush hadn't scored at all for the Kop resident since his return from Italy. Didn't look like he wanted to for a moment. That's more like it, Rushy. 1-0. Softest goal of the day came from John Aldridge, his 7th of the season and his first at Anfield too. It was the sheer power that confused the Middlesbrough defender on the line. Mind you, the third was an absolute beauty. A virtuoso goal by Peter Beardsley, skipping through, perfectly balanced, and an inch-perfect finish. Liverpool have had a bad month, really. They're only third.